Good morning, Trucker Todd here, and time for another video. All right, folks, they're currently loading me, so you may see me shaking, the truck shaking, things like that while I'm getting loaded. I'm going to try to wrap this video up before they finish loading me. Today's subject, we're going to talk about the 3 different kinds of leases that Swift Transportation has. And I'm going to give you my opinion about which one is best. Now, I know some of you have wanted to know how I've done the last 2 weeks. I went home for 6 days, and I was going to reveal that today, but since it's kind of off topic, I'm going to save it for Monday's video. So you guys make sure you're subscribed so that when that video comes out, you'll receive a notification. It's free to do, and you'll be glad you did. You'll get that information. You'll be up on the latest of what's going on. Also, give me a thumbs up and share this video in your social media platforms. That helps with the YouTube analytics and makes it where more people can see these videos. Also, drop me a comment below. If you look in the description, there's a lot of other great information like my Facebook, my Instagram, my email, things like that. So you'll want to check these things out. Also, a question I get a lot, who sings that song in my intro that we're about to play? If you'll look down in the description, that information is there as well. All right, folks, let's cue up the music and jump right in. Here we go.
And this is why I do this, why I'm out here, why I keep that hammer down, flying by these road signs with home on my mind, with these wheels turning round, for my family and for my kids, for this life I wanna live. And this is why I do this.
Alrighty, we're back. Now, before we start going into these leases, I'm going to give my comments about each one and what I think is good and bad about them. So I need to make this little disclaimer to kind of cover my bases. I am not an employee of Swift. I'm an independent contractor who is currently contracted to Swift. I'm not a spokesperson for Swift, nor a recruiter for Swift. Anything I say in this video is my opinion and mine alone. I'm not authorized to speak on behalf of Swift. Anything I say that might encourage you to apply at Swift, if it sounds too good to be true, I would encourage you to talk to Swift. I specifically recommend Michelle Cantrell. I'll put her information in the comments below and in the description. Reach out to her. She'll get you answered. She can also refer you to people for company driving positions. They have reefer. They have flatbed. They have dry van. I think they even have tanker, but they also have a lot of dedicated and regional opportunities. And I would encourage you to talk to Michelle about what's available in your area. All right, folks, here we go. Let's talk about the 3 leases. I'm going to start with my favorite and the one that I recommend for everybody. And I know a lot of you guys are not going to like this. It's called the FX lease. And what it stands for is Fleet Exchange. And basically the way this works is you'd come on as a company driver. You would work here for a few months and then you would lease that company truck. Now, why is this a good idea? Well, for several reasons. First of all, I've said this in other videos. A lot of you guys, especially if you're brand new to leasing, there's a lot you don't know. And that's not a derogatory statement towards you. Heck, I've been doing it a lot of times, a long time, and there's still a lot of stuff I don't know. But this gives you a chance to come in, learn Swift, learn the company, learn the freight lanes, where they go, where they don't go. And the truth be told, it gives you a chance to test drive the truck for a few months and see if it's one that you would want to own, if it's a good piece of equipment or if it's a lemon. Trucks can be good or bad based on what day of the week they're built in the assembly line. I got a friend with a Volvo that his truck was made during the pandemic and the factory shut down for 6 months. So the manufacturer missed a lot of stuff on his truck, like he had loose fuel lines and everything, just because of the date of manufacture for his truck. Now they've fixed all those things and now he's got a great truck. But these kind of things happen, and if you start off as a company driver, they don't happen on your dime. Also, another advantage to it, guys always ask, how much can I make? How much can I make? Run it like a lease truck while you're a company driver on this FX program, and then have your fleet manager, OOC, whatever they call them here. It's different for different people. Have them run your numbers, and they can tell you how successful you'd be. Run your own numbers, see what your fuel economy is, see what your average price for fuel is, and I'll introduce you, especially Monday we're going to talk about it. You can get into a Facebook or a YouTube group called, it's a YouTube group called Swift Contractors Corner. And I would encourage you guys, even if you don't work at Swift, if you're doing a lease anywhere, to get into this YouTube group, subscribe to them as well. They put out videos once a week, and they're going to help you learn your numbers and manage your numbers. And then when you do roll it over into a lease, you're going to be more successful. Also, you guys that are wanting new trucks, your odds are going to be a lot better going this route, getting a company truck, running it a few months, and then doing that FX lease, in my opinion. All right, now let's talk about lease number 2. It's actually the one I'm currently in, and I don't recommend it for you guys, and I'm going to tell you why. So this lease is, and I want to say this too, I probably should have started with this. All of these leases have the option for you to own the truck, and so that shouldn't be a concern. They're all going to have some form of balloon payment. This current lease that I'm in, the one we're going to talk about, is typically on a newer truck, and well, it's not typically, it is on a newer truck, typically under warranty. It's usually 3 or 4 years, and it's going to have a substantial balloon payment at the end of it. Now, I don't recommend, now you can always trade it in, you don't have to pay it off at the end of the lease. You can also roll it into the third lease we're going to talk about here in a minute. But the problem with this lease is, A, you're going to have a substantial balloon payment if you want to own it in 4 years or 3 years or whatever it works out to be. And B, there just aren't any trucks right now. If you're hard set on a specific truck, hey Todd, it's got to be this color, it's got to be this brand, it's got to have this feature, it's got to do this, it's got to do that, you're going to have a tough time right now at any company, not just Swift. There's no trucks out there, folks. You kind of have to take the best of what's available, and that's why I'm going to recommend FX, or this third lease I'm going to talk to you about in a minute. So the lease I'm in, typically the lease payments are a little higher because it's a newer truck. Typically you have warranty, and typically there's a substantial balloon payment at the end. You can roll it into this other lease we're about to talk about and pay it out over a longer period of time, but there's still a balloon payment at the end of that one too, although it is a lot smaller. So why chase something that's not really there right now? Now, next year, 2023, who knows? But right now, the manufacturers have said for the rest of 2022, there's going to be very, very few new trucks come out because of the chip shortage, because of the supply chain issues, and because of the economy in general. So don't get hung up on, hey, I got to have this kind of truck or I'm not coming, because you're not going to find it at any company. You're just going to frustrate yourself. You're just going to frustrate your recruiter. Now, let's talk about the second best option, which is the third lease that I'm going to talk to you about. So some of you are sitting there saying, all right, Todd, you said I shouldn't do a traditional lease, and you said the FX, I got to be a company driver first, which, by the way, FX stands for Fleet Exchange. I don't want to be a company driver. I want to own a truck, and by golly, I want to own it now. Okay. Swift has a program called MRP, Maintenance Repair Plan. And the way I want you to think about this is it's like a major medical plan for your health insurance. So they have trucks that are typically 3 years old or so, and they typically have around 350,000 miles on them, somewhere in that area. Don't quote me on that. When you get with your recruiter, they'll help you find an exact truck, and then you'll know your mileage, you'll see pictures, all of that. I'm just giving you kind of the 30,000 foot view of all these leases, so this isn't a 3-hour video. So in MRP, you start off putting around 12 or 13 cents a mile into a maintenance account. If anything major, and major is a relative term, it's in your contract. They can go over with you what's covered and what's not covered when you call the recruiter. Something big goes wrong, 80-20 split. Now these trucks typically are either out of warranty or they're nearing the end of warranty, and that's why this program is great. These are basically Swift trucks that have ran their course, and now they are trying to help drivers get truck payments. Are typically a lot cheaper, and I mean $200 a week cheaper than what I'm paying in some cases, maybe more. So you definitely want to check this out. Basically, if you have something big go wrong, it's an 80-20 split. They cover 80%, you cover 20%. And so it saves you from worrying, well, Todd, what happens if I get that truck and the engine goes out? What happens if the transmission goes out or the air? Those kind of things, 80-20 split. Again, I want you to get with Michelle. Let her go over the details with you. I don't want to get deep in the weeds here with this, but it gives you a lot of peace of mind. Typically, the balloon payment at the end is less than half of what my balloon payment is, almost a fourth. Well, let's call it a third to be safe. The balloon payment at the end is a third of what mine is for sure. And so all of these leases are no money down, so don't get hung up on, oh, Todd, I don't have any money to put down. They got great equipment, but I'm sure they're going to want money down, or my credit stinks. They're not going to look at your credit. But this MRP is a really great program, and I don't think it gets talked about enough. They cover your oil changes, things like that. So it's got a lot of benefits, and like I said, I could do a 3-hour video talking about these things, but I just kind of wanted to hit the high points and answer some of the basic questions. For those of you that are wanting to make money, obviously with a lower truck payment, that potential is there. Also with the balloon payment being a lot less, the chance of ownership's a lot better. It's also my understanding, and this could have changed, that at the end of the MRP, if you don't have the total balloon payment, that they will finance that out. Again, confirm that with the recruiter. That was the case. I know they've made some changes to all 3 of these programs. This video is not meant to deceive anybody or mislead anybody. This is the information as I know it as of today's date, here July 1st. So I hope I cleared things up. I hope I didn't muddy the water any. And you guys, there's going to be some more stuff coming Monday. I really want to talk about this real quick, and we'll wrap it up. Monday, we're going to talk about, I've recently changed my strategy completely here at Swift. You know, I said that I could be successful at pretty much any company in a lease purchase. I just had to learn their system and adapt my strategy. Well, I've been pretty successful here at Swift, I ain't gonna lie, but I've already made tweaks to my strategy. I want to share those with you. I'm going to talk about my last 2 weeks here at Swift and how it's gone, taking that basically a week off. I call it 6 days, but it was basically a week, and I'll explain all of that on Monday too. But you guys have a great weekend. The trailer's shaking. I'm going to be done. I'm going home for a 34. Then I'm heading to California on July 6th. I'm going to be at the Phoenix terminal. So you Swift drivers that's been saying you don't think I'm a driver, I'll be there. Those Swift drivers that have enjoyed my videos and want to meet me, I'll be there. If there's any way you can be at the Phoenix terminal around the 6th, possibly even the 7th, we'll see how it goes. You guys let me know, and I'll try to get together and meet with you guys. All right, have a great day, great weekend. Thank y'all for watching. Bye-bye.